Hey, what's up you guys? So this video was actually supposed to be like a little celebration of the fact that my channel reached 20,000 subscribers. But because of how popular the One More Light video got, I actually already have like 23,000 subscribers, which is insane. Thank you guys so much for that. I really appreciate the fact that I can share my passion with so many people. So this video is something I've been thinking about for years, but never really did one. You know, there are some questions that I keep getting like over and over and over and over and over again. So I thought it would be nice to actually make a little video and to answer these questions so that a lot of you can hear the answers. Also, a few days ago I asked you to ask me some additional questions, so we're gonna turn it into like a little Q&A session as well. So let's go. Alright, so obviously I got a lot of questions about Chester Bennington's death. Basically, if you want to know how I feel about it, you can just read the description of the One More Light video, but I'm just gonna say real quick that I've been hit by this news pretty hard, actually even harder than I expected, to be honest. You know, I'm not this hardcore Linkin Park fan anymore, I don't really listen to them as often as I used to, but it's always gonna be like a very special band for me, and Chester's voice was pretty much the reason I got interested in Linkin Park's music. So it was really hard to accept what happened, especially since I got a chance to meet the guy, you know. I talked to Chester twice. Of course, it's not like we're best friends or something, right? But he wasn't just another celebrity from the TV. I talked to him and he was like a real person, right? So it was hard to accept. The first 2 days were actually pretty tough, but I feel like I made my peace with that. Of course, he'll always be missed, he'll never be forgotten, but the life goes on. Alright, the next question, well, it's kind of tough. It's a message from Melissa who says, I've been diagnosed with cancer recently. Any tips on how to deal with that? You know, we're all different and we all deal with shit in different ways, right? But, well, when I found out I had cancer, well, basically I got a phone call from the clinic with a short message like, "Sir, you've got cancer, you should see a doctor as quick as possible." And that was it, you know? I had no idea how serious that was. I didn't know if I was dying or something. So at the very first moment, I felt so many different things that, in a way, I kind of felt nothing. But after like an hour, I turned all that into anger and I was like, okay, yet another shit to deal with. Let's do it. Let's kick this cancer's ass. And I was like, bring it on, bitch, you know, and stuff like that. And I think that's the right approach. Just try to think about it as a chance to win. Because I gotta tell you, beating cancer feels fucking great. And no matter how cliche that sounds, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And I remember when I woke up after the surgery with my throat basically cut. I had 2 tubes coming out of it with some fluids coming out of the wound, and I had to live with that for a few days. So every time I had to go to the bathroom, I had to take like one bag with those fluids, I had to take the second one and walk to the bathroom with all that crap in my hands, which was disgusting, which was painful, but I survived, right? And well, now I know that I can take more than I thought. So try to think about it as a chance to win, as a chance to achieve greatness. So I keep my fingers crossed, I'm sure you can do it. Alright, so the next question is kind of more down to earth. Do you have any favorite movies or TV shows? I don't really have a favorite movie. If you ask me right now, I would probably say Forrest Gump. But if you ask me tomorrow, I would probably give you a completely different answer. It's much easier when it comes to TV shows. Friends, hands down, best show ever. The next question is kind of similar. Name your 5 favorite songs. That's impossible, you know. It keeps changing, but... Alright, so I'm just gonna tell you, you know, which songs I have in my mind right now. Basically, when I think about the best songs like ever, I think about some soft, like more beautiful songs rather than fun songs, right? So I would say I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith, Here With Me by Dido, They Don't Care About Us by Michael Jackson. Oh, The Scientist by Coldplay. And maybe to add just, you know, one like more fun song, a bit less serious, I would say that Why Don't You Get a Job by The Offspring. Okay, the next question, will you remix One More Light? Of course, that's a question about One More Light, the album, not about the song. Well, no, I will not remix One More Light. Actually, in case you haven't noticed, for the last like 3 years, I have made only like 2 or 3 Linkin Park remixes, and that was actually intentional because at some point I felt like I've been doing too much of that stuff. And I really don't want to be known as some kind of Linkin Park remixer. I'm not a Linkin Park remixer, I'm a music producer who simply enjoys remixing Linkin Park songs. But I've got other things to do, right? I remix other artists, I make my original music as well, so I kind of wanted to focus more on that. And I feel like it worked out really well, actually. You know, I'm really happy with the songs that I made in the last 2 or 3 years. I know that some of you follow only my Linkin Park related projects, so but make sure to check out my other works as well, because honestly I think my best works are non-Linkin Park related. The next question, are you single? Asks Patrick276. I swear I didn't make that up, someone actually asked me this question. Well, not someone, Patrick did. You know, this kind of reminds me of this picture I once saw on Facebook or whatever. There was a guitar player who was surrounded by a bunch of girls who were like, oh my god, you're so awesome, right? Then there was a vocalist who was surrounded by like dozens of girls who were like, oh my god, let's make a baby, right? And then there was a music producer who was surrounded by a bunch of guys asking him, dude, do you want to collab? And that is so true. It actually makes me want to cry sometimes. So, to answer your question, Patrick, I am single, but don't get your hopes up. Really, just don't. The next question, what's your favorite memory about Chester? Well, obviously meeting the guy was like my favorite memory, but if you ask me about his like career and his music, I would probably say his live performance of Faint at Rock am Ring in 2007. That was intense. The next question, hello from Greece. Hello. Actually, I love Greece. I've been there a couple times. I wanted to ask if you can share the multi-tracks of one of your instrumentals just to play with the sound. That's an interesting question, and actually I might do it. And I feel like Wings is an interesting track to share with you in a multi-track form. But well, the problem about sharing the multi-tracks of my songs is that usually my songs are so full of sounds. There are so many layers, so many, you know, instruments, that sharing the multi-tracks would take forever. But I might actually do it someday. Can you teach me how to remix? Man, I wish it was that easy. I've been doing it for over 10 years now and I'm still learning myself, you know. But there are a lot of tutorials, especially here on YouTube, so you can just check them out. They cover pretty much all the basic stuff. However, most tutorials, well, they kind of teach you how to produce electronic music, but there's not a lot of stuff about producing rock music, especially without actual instruments, you know. So that is something I had to kind of figure out on my own, and I've spent many years trying different plugins, different solutions, experimenting. So that is something I might actually be able to teach you. So I might make a tutorial on that, for instance, like a tutorial on how to produce electric guitar. I might do it someday, but I can't promise anything. Tell us about your meeting with Mike Shinoda. Well, I had a chance to meet the guy twice before the Linkin Park shows in Poland. In 2012, I wasn't exactly sure if he knew who I was, so I decided not to introduce myself. But I remember that just a few months later, he mentioned me on Twitter, so that was like a clear message that he is familiar with my work. So when I had another chance to meet the guy, I decided to say hi, to And I said something like, "Hi, I'm this guy who makes all these remixes of your songs, right?" And at the very first moment, he was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "Holy shit, that's embarrassing. He doesn't remember me, right?" But after like literally a second, he was like, "Oh yeah, you're this guy." You know, he was so super nice to me. We were surrounded by a bunch of people, so he was like, "Listen guys, this dude makes the best remixes of our songs." And he asked Dave, the Linkin Park bass player, to come to us, and he introduced me to him. And he was like, "Listen, this dude makes the best remixes of our songs." And he wanted to tell him my name, but obviously he had no idea how to pronounce it, so he started spelling it, and he actually did pretty well. So yeah, he said some very positive stuff about my work. He said that every time he listens to my remixes, they're really, you know, great quality. So yeah, that was definitely a day to remember. Okay, so right now I'm gonna answer the frequently asked questions that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. The first question is, what music software do you use? Well, I use FL Studio 12 and of course tons of different plugins. Can I use your song in a non-commercial way? If it's a non-commercial way, yes, you can use my songs, as long as you remember to give me proper credit. And by proper credit, I mean, well, for instance, if you're using my song in your video, I want you to add in information in the actual video. Adding an info somewhere at the end of the movie description is not enough, because unfortunately most people don't read descriptions. So basically I just want you to make sure that every person who watches your video gets an information, you know, that the song that you used is mine. As simple as that. As long as you do that, you're totally fine. You won't get a copyright strike from me. The next question, do you take requests? No, I don't take requests. Not because I'm an asshole, but you know, it just doesn't work. It's not like I can take just any song and make a remix of it. To make a remix, I really need to have this exceptional idea. I need to feel that the track that I'm working on has a chance to become not just okay, not just decent, but like freaking awesome, right? Of course, at least for me. And I think it's simply impossible to come up with such ideas for just any song. So I don't take requests, you know, it has to be my own idea, as simple as that. Next question, what's your music gear? Well, that's like a question for a separate video actually, but I'm just gonna show you real quick what kind of stuff I do have here. But actually, like 3 years ago, my only equipment was like a basic PC computer, basic speakers, cheap microphone, and you know, a pretty cheap MIDI controller. And actually, you don't really need to invest like a whole lot of money into some expensive professional studio stuff in order to create nice music. But of course, it does make stuff easier, it does make stuff more comfortable. Actually, everything that I have here is the stuff that I won in both stage light contests. So shout out to the guys from Open Labs for creating these contests. Alright, so I'm just gonna show you real quick what I have here. Alright, so I've got the JBL studio monitors. 2 of them, actually. The Arturia Keylab 49 MIDI controller. Yeah. The Scarlett audio interface by Focusrite. I think it's like 2-in-1, that's how it's called, I think. The Blue Spark microphone. And the headphones, the Audio Technica headphones. This is the model, I'm not sure you can see it, you probably can't. ATH M50X, yes. And I think that's pretty much it. Alright, the next question, what are your future music plans? Well, I don't really have like any big specific plans, right? If you ask me about my upcoming songs, well, right now I'm working on a remix of Heathens by 21 Pilots, and I'm really excited about this one. I'm really happy with how it sounds so far. I cannot wait to share it with you. I also have a new original instrumental song that I'd like to release in the upcoming weeks. Also, I have remixed Good Goodbye by Linkin Park, but I think this one's gonna be released a bit later. Oh, and also recently I got an offer from the guys from Open Labs to kind of join their team and to work together on some kind of music software, but I don't know any details yet, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, I think that's it, you guys. I haven't answered all the questions, so I'm really sorry if I skipped yours, but well, I didn't want to make this video like an hour long, so yeah. I hope it wasn't very boring. As usual, thanks for your support, I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I guess I'll see you next time. Take care.